I can't be doing that, so I put a lot of blame on myself there for the first period as well.
You guys found something with your line that like you guys creating chances, cycling.
Yeah, I think once we were able to get out of our zone, we started getting pucks deep and realizing, we're a pressure team. We've got to use our assets, which is skating and work and hard work. I think once we started doing that, we started getting them to turn pucks over, and it was hard for them to get out of the zone. You could just see the table kind of tilt for us in favor of the Oil.
Getting your first goal with the Oilers out of field.
Yeah, it was. It's exciting. Time to kind of add a little energy to the group and do that. It was a lot of fun, and for Jonesy to get his 100th point on it, it's kind of unique and kind of special.
Now you don't get the win, but you lose.
Yeah, I do.
It made a bit of a difference with the face-off down there.
We thought it was it could have been icing, but I mean that's a judgment call by their guy, and there's not much we can do.
A little bit of deja vu, or comeback doesn't quite get completed.
Yeah, it was. Not our two best periods that we've had, but I thought we battled hard in the third period, and we found a way to bring some energy and bring some life back to our game, and we got to try to do that for 60 minutes.
And disappointing result for you guys. You guys started a little bit slow, but you finished strong. Just talk about the finish there.
Well, I thought, we rebounded fairly well, but it's happened all too often that we wait till we get down in order to, put the pressure on. It almost seems like we put ourselves in a situation where we have nothing to lose and then we start playing well. We got to come out like that right from the start, obviously.
What makes you avoid in that work and what are you guys doing today?
It's just a simple game. There's nothing fancy about what we do. We just get the puck deep, do our best to outwork the other line and get pucks to the net, because that's been the solution to winning hockey teams forever.
You've been getting a little more physical out there the last couple of games. Why do you think that is?
So that's what the game called for. I'm just trying to survive, so do anything I can to help the team, and that's what it called for.
Thanks, Ryan. Yep.
Is it almost more frustrating that you guys can play as well as you seem to be able to play late in games, but it doesn't start that way? Like, it's there if you guys want it to be there.
Well, you can look at it both ways. They're up by 4 goals, so maybe we don't see their best, but it's unacceptable, and it's. As a player, you see the things that are said, that are written, and it's a pass the blame game. These guys that are in the back room, our coaches, our management, they don't play the game. They send the guys out, and we play the same system as basically every other team in the NHL, and it's the players that lose, and yet they take the blame. So it's about time the guys in this locker room took a little bit of accountability on themselves and stopped letting other people take the blame. And when we do that, we'll win hockey games, and we'll give nobody an excuse or somebody to blame.
You sensed that earlier. You get a lot of money, and we play a sport that we play since we're 3-4 years old that we love, and there's no way it should ever happen, and that's something that if it did, we definitely need to talk about it.
David, it's kind of almost dangerous for your team to slump and say, here we go again, because you can get yourselves back into games, even you're 2 or 3 goals out of it. Just how do you avoid deciding you're out of a game for 2 periods before something good happens?
The simple way to say it is I think what I said early on. We force plays that clearly they're not there. Like, it's kind of like I made a pass to Halsey there with 25 seconds left. It was a hope play, but we were in our zone, and we got to get in the zone somehow and try to score. Well, I think that's probably times that we can try those, but early in the first when it's 0-0 stuff like that, like there's no point. We just need to play hard with the speed and the abilities that we have. Like I said, we're just gonna create so many chances, and I think we carried the place from parts of the game, but just not enough. And those mistakes always end up in the back of our net.
David, you guys, I don't get the win, but yourself, you
This team isn't in desperate need of a psychiatrist or something. At the start of the game, it looked like their body language, after it was down 2-0, the body language almost looked like they were ready to climb on the plane to the...
At the end of the period?
Yeah.
Yeah, not at the start of the period, no.
You know, basically proved that to be wrong with what they did in the third period.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, like it was a... I thought we actually played pretty well for 56 minutes. It was a 3 or I'd have to go look, but it was a 3 or 4 minute. Well, you know what? It's not even a 3 or 4 minute lapse. It was the third goal was a broken play. I'll give them that one, but the first two were easily avoidable. One was on the penalty kill that we had covered off before the game. And the other one was just a bad read by one of our defensemen, and that's the league. We're a team, and we've been a team like this for a while, that we cannot give up those plays like that. They seem, if we make a mistake, and it's not even a huge drastic mistake, it finds a way in our net. Now that being said, you get down in a game like that, and it can go one way or the other. The guys can dig their heels in and fight for each other and support each other, or it can the game can go really badly. And you know, they came out and got the fourth goal, and our guys hung in with it, and which is it's a great sign, but it's disappointing that you lose a game in 3 minutes.
The other part is, is one of your biggest challenges right now making sure that they don't give up on themselves the season, the short part of the season to the Olympic break, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, and right through to the end of the year. There's a lot of different things going on. There's players that are going to be here moving forward. We have guys that you know, their contracts are up. There may be guys that have an opportunity to go to a team that's maybe going to challenge for a Stanley Cup. There's a lot of different things going on. There's a ton to play for, but in the end, I always find it that all these guys, all of us, the games have always meant something, even when they meant nothing. The games in your backyard, they meant something, and I think that's the most important part, is that you go out and compete and do your best to win the game. But we've got to find a way to basically cut out every mistake. And the good teams make, I'll tell you what, the good teams that played tonight, other games, I bet you all of them made more mistakes than we did tonight. But they find the way to win the game and to stay in it. And right now, we seem to suffer as soon as we make one little one.
You seem to be able to find this frenetic pace late in a game to try and get yourselves back in it. I mean, how do you try and extract that in the second period when you're down 3 goals? Why? It kind of seems like they wait till late to really ramp it up for that extra gear.
Yeah, listen, if I be a rich man if I had that one, I think. I find teams go through things differently in a season. Like, you'll come out and you'll just be flying for a 10-game segment where you're unbelievable coming out of the gate in the first period. And then you'll suffer in the second. And then you're good in the third. And then the next 10-game segment, you don't come out of the gate very well anymore. But you're great in the second, or you fall away. It's like these ebbs and flows. And I think as the team grows and it gets more experience, you know, hopefully that whole full 60-minute game comes together. And the interesting thing about the 60-minute game is there's only one guy on the ice that plays 60 minutes. It's your goalie. Everybody else plays 20, 15, 8, and you just have to worry about those minutes. But it's hockey is a game of momentum. I think the guys feed off each other with shifts. And I think when we see maybe we don't have the pace, it's up to the next line coming out, noticing that, hey, you know what? That wasn't a great shift. The other team looks like they're gaining some momentum. We've got to change that right now because it can turn into the waves. You guys have seen it. You've watched lots of games. But to explain it, that's a tough one.
Did Matt Hendricks give you kind of what you think he can provide? He got a goal, tried to stir things up, got the bench going. For a new guy, he seems to fit right in fast.
He's a leader, that's for sure. And, sometimes what happens is a guy like that comes in and he takes a leadership role and he talks a lot and he works hard, and then maybe after a few games, if things haven't gone that well, they sometimes get quiet, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen with Matt. I've asked him to. We need his kind of leadership and grit to rub off on our group, and I think he's providing that. And he was excellent in the game for me, and he was good on the bench, and another voice preaching the right things, and I thought our group responded to him.
I know there's a fair amount of frustration, Dallas, but from a body language standpoint, there seems to be a lot happening, whether it's smashing sticks and on the glass, on the net, whatever. Is that something that bothers you? Do you think it needs to be addressed?
No, I think, well, it depends on the situation. I got no problem with the one thing I never want a team to be is turn into a bunch of robots where they're just stone-faced, no emotion. If it's a thing where they've missed a shift and now they're slamming the door or breaking a stick, I do have problems with that. You've got to take your punishment like a man, not like a baby. But when they're frustrated sometimes, that's the best way to get it out. I don't want them all to be sitting there with no emotion, because then your question is probably, hey, things are going badly. There's no emotion on the team. They're all just sitting there doing nothing. I think the only person that has to have no emotion on their face after things may be me, because that camera likes to cut to me after any time a goal. So. But for the players, I don't mind it in certain situations, and a lot of situations are different. But we had a couple guys slam the door tonight. We had a couple guys break sticks. I asked Halsey on the bench to break his stick. Like, just get rid of that one. That one's not working. So I'm okay with it in certain situations, because I certainly don't want them to be an unemotional, dead group.